And good morning for the live people. And if you're watching this as a video, hi, whatever time of the day it is, welcome to the Medium channel where we are here to assist you in the awakening process. So this morning is tarot time. So we're going to do everything tarot, divination. So we do a meditation card for the week, tarot spread, and we have other divination cards and messages from spirit to help us on our spiritual journeys and our awakenings during these very amazing yet intense times. So takes the live people a minute or two to get their notifications. So I'll say a few quick hellos and get started. And who's here? Colleen and Judy, welcome, and Sharon and Jody and Claire and Chris and Rissa so far. That's all who's commented, and that's all who's on. So you're up in the Catskills. So am I. I'm up in the Catskills too. Well, I live in the Catskills, and yesterday we hit 70, and right now it's about 35 out. Welcome to the Catskills. What else are you saying this morning here? Walter, wow. Okay. Did I miss something? Oh, okay. Got you. Yeah, we were talking about one of the live streams a little bit about Jesus and the numerology of 30 33, that we have 33 vertebrae, and that he passed at age 33, according to the Bible and stuff. So anyhow, yes, it's a beautiful but cold day here in the mountains of New York. Hi, Brianna and Rosanna, welcome. And I'm gonna get started in just a minute. It has not recently come to my attention. Thank you guys, that maybe I could do a little bit more in terms of promoting this channel or self-promotion. So I have a little list here of things that are going on. So what are you saying? Oh, cool. Okay, so firstly, we just did the April psychic forecast. That's up on the channel. We did that, I think, the day before yesterday. Interesting information that came out. This is going to be a very interesting month. It's getting off to a really powerful start, I must say. Today's only the 2nd, and also it's Earth Month. Well, Earth Day comes up around the 22nd, or on the 22nd, not around the 22nd, but on Spirit Mind Family. That is our inner core Patreon community where we dive deeper into things that we do here on the Medium channel. And we have a theme every month, and then we do 2 extra channelings with the master teacher, so we go deeper that way. Have lots of exclusive content. Only $5 a month. That's I'll leave information on the pinned comment when this becomes a video. So that's on Patreon. That's Spirit Mind Family. I just started to do YouTube Shorts, so I dove into that recently. And every morning, except for Sundays, I do a quick 1-minute forecast, like a quick 1-minute reading on YouTube Shorts. So here on the East Coast, those comes out at 8 a.m. every morning. So if you want to get like a quick little morning charge and a little message from Spirit and a mini reading, tune in there. What else? And I wrote in parentheses root chakra, because Spirit kept saying, well, it's Earth Month, for me, but Spirit keeps saying, grounding. We have to build our roots. Strong roots means a strong tree, right? Weak roots, and then the tree can't grow. So lots of grounding, as the energies keep ramping up here on planet Earth. The frequencies, the vibrations keep getting stronger and stronger. The oscillations get more pronounced, so higher highs, lower lows. The way to stay, I don't even want to stay safe, because you're already safe, but the way to stay sane, maybe that's a better way of putting it. The way to keep your sanity is to get very grounded and very rooted. Remember, when the storms come, the white pines with their shallow root systems get knocked over. The birches and the oaks with their deep, strong root systems withstand the storms. There is an energetic storm that's happening here on planet Earth. There is a battle going on, a war against consciousness or spirituality, if you want to look at it that way, where there's lots of different forces that are acting, for our detriment as well as our higher good, clashing at the same time. So basically, the long and the short of it is, as you guys know, everything's changing. There's a lot of control agendas. There's also a lot of freedom movements. We're growing spiritually, we're awakening, but those forces that want to prevent the awakening, those that aren't ready, those are scared, are also strong. And as the energies keep pulling apart, like as, how can I explain this in English on a Sunday morning? As more of us awaken and there's more resistance, like stretching a rubber band, and sooner or later it's going to snap, and that's when everything's going to change. So stay grounded, stay rooted. Really, really important. Okay, what else? Oh yes, Thursday's upload for those of you that are connected to the extraterrestrial realm and extraterrestrial guides, or want to tap in. And it's not even just extraterrestrial guides. Even if you want to connect with your own spirit guides or the ascended masters, I have an upload coming out this Thursday on how to do that, especially how to open up to to ETs and to that type of intelligence. More and more people are getting contacted. And last Thursday I had an upload that's what was really about, again, about ascension and awakening. So you check that out. Full moon channeling is going to be Wednesday night with the master teachers and the archangels. The full moon, I think, is here on the East Coast. It's technically on Thursday, but it's like just after midnight Thursday. So you got to go west of the Eastern time zone. It's on April the 5th. And what else do we do? Oh, yes. Give the videos a thumbs up. I keep forgetting to say that. So when we like the videos on YouTube, and enough people give it a thumbs up, then YouTube, it hits the algorithm, and then it gets shared with more people. All right. I think I did my fair share of promoting the channel and self-promotion. I think we're good, right? So how are you guys doing? Oh, thank you. So here's a little. So watch my little daily short videos. Hey, Carissa. Somebody saying, hey, Carissa, who is Meta or what is Meta? Yeah, that's or Meta. I'm missing part of the conversation. Anyhow, I don't think I need my glasses on right now. Ugh. See, I'm kind of in my winter shirt here because, like I said, it's winter weather here. So anyhow, anyhow, it's April 2nd. Yesterday was April Fool's Day. So of course I pulled the Fool card just because we love this guy, So basically, he's kind of walking out on the precipice. He's got a white flower that can represent things like purity. It looks like a white rose in this deck. A rose by any other name, right? Still smells as sweet. He has a little bag here. That's like his gifts. The dog could be like his allies or his helpers, basically. And asking, will I be on 4/4? That's interesting. What's 4/4? Tuesday? Probably not. Oh, I am going to be on 4/4, but to talk about the full moon, actually. So I'm going to do my 4/4 thing that way. And anyhow, excuse me. So we're back to the Fool card. But what's really interesting is it's key 0. And I've been talking more and more about 0. Nothing, right? No thing. That's what 0 is. So 0 is the void. It's spiritual form manifestation. That's what the Fool card represents. So it's April Fool's Day, but the Fool is actually can be very, very wise because basically he's trusting. He's got his gifts here. He's got his purity of heart. He's got his allies, his spirit guides or whatever. He's ready to step off that precipice into the unknown. So you can be foolish and throw all cautions to the wind and just take foolish risk, or you can acknowledge through purity of heart, through trust and connection to spirit, when to take appropriate risks in life, when to step off in that precipice, and not to be afraid, not to buy into the programming or our own survival instincts, that prevents us from taking chances and risks, and just step off. So this is the time to really, trust in your heart, trust in spirit, trust in your connection. The one that created you is never going to let you down. So the one that created you, God, if you will, spirit, the quantum field, source, the universe, the multiverse, whatever you want to call it, that which created us takes care of us. And we have to understand that and not buy into the fear, programming. Be aware, obviously, that there are dangers in all facets of life, but fear is very different than awareness. Because fear basically blocks our connection to our higher self and source, but awareness enhances that. So when we're aware, we know when to take risks and when to hold back. So basically, that's the message from the Fool. That's the ultimate source of wisdom. Imagine that, because all polar opposites are really one and the same. It's just we're the vantage point. So, my left is over here, my right is over here. But if I take 5 steps to the left, then what was left was once right. So all opposites are the same. It's just my vantage point, where I'm sitting at this moment, that's the determining factor. Hopefully that makes some sense. So let's do a meditation card for the week. As I say, well, you can use the Fool card if you want, but they're telling me to pull another card. Oh, thank you. I'm just peeking at some comments. So let's see. Meta, as I know, means born again, think differently. Oh, okay. It's interesting that they're really trying to create a metaverse, that's sort of more of an interactive internet experience, incorporating more of the artificial intelligence or whatever, and that the company that owns Facebook turned to Meta. So it's interesting that they're, how they use language, and how language is such a powerful tool to control the thinking of the masses. Also, how words are used, when they're used, how they're applied, and everything. So that's part of mass manipulation, really. Afraid to move. All right. And Colleen's asking, we still purchase. That's another thing I should mention. We did a very really great class on heart brain coherence, and yes, the replay is available for purchase. It's the same price. The only difference is that you don't have the ability to ask live questions. Other than that, the replay is exactly the same as the live class was on Thursday. That was, I just said, 3 days ago we did that. Okay, doc. You're afraid. So, I see. Pam C saying you're afraid to move. Trust in your heart, and trust that spirit will take care of you, no matter what. Your fear's a survival instinct, but it's also a program, and so we have to learn how to separate the two. Basically, being chased by a tiger, then we should feel fear, because of the hormones that we fire when we feel fear helps us to survive, like adrenaline and cortisol. Moving though, that's just a kind of a fear of the unknown, basically, that we all have. That's part of our survival instinct also. But through our connection with our heart, our spirit, and source, we can override those and understand that, again, no matter what, spirit's going to take care of us anyway. Hopefully that makes sense. Good morning, Linda. Hello, Marge, and whoever else just popped in. Chased by several tigers. Yeah. All right. So at least you're understanding that. Let me try to clear my mind a second. So meditating with tarot cards, the way I do it, the way I do it here and teach people, is like any other meditation. Get very present, get very centered and focused, grounded at the root, open at the heart, and expansive in the crown, and then you're linked with spirit. And one time, years ago, I was doing some channeling, and then spirit was talking about the three different access points to spirit or divinity. And they're saying, the first one's in the center of the earth. So right at the center of the earth, there's a portal to connect with the mysteries or with great spirit. Then at the center of the universe is the second one. And then the third one is the center of the heart. So the thing is, which is our center. So there's only one heart, but there's infinite expressions of that one heart, which is our individual hearts. And then the final line was that if you're seeking spirit, go to the heart, go to the center, go to the core. So whether it's the center of the earth, the center of the universe, or the center of the heart, it's the same portal, but it's different ways of accessing that portal to spirit, if that makes sense. But it's all the heart, it's all the center. And the center of the universe is basically the Big Bang, right? Or the center of time and the center of the universe are the same. So we go out into space, like Sirius is about 6.5 light years away. The star Sirius, there's stars that are millions and even billions of light years away. But the farther out in space you go, the farther back in time you go because of light years or the how long it takes light to travel. So no matter what direction in space you go, sooner or later you're going to find that center. You're going to find that Big Bang, that origin. Anyhow, let's pull a meditation card. Yes. Okay. This is the one. Here we go. So this is a nice kind of a very youthful kind of a spirit guide energy. The Page of Cups. So pages can be about news, about offerings, and cups can be about water, emotion, intuition, feelings. I think there's a fish in his cup. Cool. This is the Morgan Greer deck, and he's got a little fish in his cup also. So anyway, to meditate with tarot cards, get nice and relaxed, and nice and present, get centered at the heart or the root or the crown. The root connects us with the earth center portal. The crown connects us with the universal center portal, and our heart center connects us with the heart center portal. Again, all access points to spirit or divinity or how many other words can I think of for God and divinity? I don't know. I think you guys get the idea. So anyway, get very relaxed, get very centered, and then in your mind, step into the card. So as soon as you step into the card, gauge your feelings. What we feel is a very powerful indicator of energy and frequency. Now, in order for that to work, in order for the gauge of our emotions, our energy emotions, or our feelings to work, it is required that we have to step out of our own personal perspective, our own egoic or personal mind. Reason being is that within the personal mind, there's all these trigger points and associated with different emotions. So if you haven't cleared that, what you might feel when you step in is more something from the personal perspective rather than the pure energy of the card, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So clear your mind, pure open heart, step in, and then what do you feel? What does the energy feel? You might even feel in your body, even when you're meditating. You may get colors, smells, or or sensations, or symbols or images. So as you step in, there's a whole panoramic view. This is just a doorway to a whole new reality. So when you step in, maybe you find spirit guides, or maybe your loved ones on the other side, or maybe you won't, and you'll just feel different energies. You just get different scenes, but everything becomes a message. Everything becomes a communication from spirit. And the energy of the card, pages are of the earth again, and cups are of water. So it's earth of water. And so there's messages that could pertain to, pages are also children. So it could pertain to children in your life, or your own childlike nature, or opening to your own child self energy, or attaining more innocence and purity of heart, whatever it is. So go and see what happens. It's always good to journal. And I'd recommend doing this daily for this week. So Spirit picked this for us, this community of people that are live and watching this as a video, as a suggestion for a meditation card, and see what messages that you get. Anyway, peek at your comments for a second. I saw Jesus' name come up, and it is Palm Sunday, I do believe. Next Sunday's Easter. Jesus is a beautiful heart and heart story. I'm partial to it since childhood. I do like all heart vibration and stories, though. I like all stories that have life, but the heart portal fade. Me too. Me too. Thank you. You're welcome, misbehaving. All right, so let me do a 3-card spread for our week. That can be personal messages for you, messages for this community, or what's going on in the world. One thing that I did mention in the April forecast, actually, there's 2 or 3 things that are already starting to come true, and it's only the second, which is kind of scary. But yesterday morning, so I did the forecast on Thursday live, and then yesterday, so that was 2 days later, after I talked about Spirit showing me like a new variant. I didn't really explain this, but they've shown me different like shapes and colors in it, meaning that it's probably whatever the new variant of this virus is, it probably has a different characteristic or whatever. I didn't know this was going on, but apparently on March 20th or 21st, they did identify a new variant in India, and it just came out on my news feed. I skim at headlines. I don't read the news. It's all. I just want to know what information is being, shall we say, leveled on the public. I want to know what's going on and what we're up against more than anything. So there's an article on the new COVID variant. So anyway, let me clear my mind. I forgot what the other thing is, but I saw something else. It's like, oh yeah, that came up also. I forgot what it was. All right. Anyhow, so clearing my mind. 1, 2, this one, 3, this one. Okay, they came out very easily. All right, so okay, so I'm sorry. I'm just putting these on my clipboard. It's easier to show these cards. So the 2 of Swords, coming to 3 of Pentacles reversed, and then the 10 of Wands or the 10 of Rods. So you're looking at this in a certain amount of order. The 2 of Swords is very contemplative energy. It's kind of almost like stepping back. She's got like the blindfold on, and then she's got the sword and the arms crossing the heart here, and then the peaceful waters behind her, and it's very blue. So there's yellow, surrounded by a lot of blue energy. Now the yellow energy can be about faith and courage, and the blue can be very contemplated or very higher mind kind of stuff. 2s are often about meetings, about connections, about relationships, things of that nature. To me, it looks like one or more of you or several of you may be feeling like somebody that you've either that you're interested in relationship wise. It's just kind of step back a little bit or stuff like that. But if that rings true with you, with this card 10 of Wands with the burdens, just makes me feel like this other person is dealing with a lot. Like there's a lot on that person's plate right now, and a lot of mental pressures and stuff like that. So in other words, just step back a little bit. Open your heart, because the hearts are crossed here. So open your heart and just send love, but not in a manipulative way, just in a pure way. But the idea is to step back, let this person come to you. She or he will when they're ready. So just to put that out there. Now, the 10 is also shows about taking on extra weight or extra burdens or whatever. And okay, I need water. There we go. I feel better already. So where was I with this? Yeah, so, there may be a few of you or all of us that are a little bit concerned about money or finances or having to spend money or stuff like that. There's another message. Let me bring that energy back. Maybe if I hold it this way. Okay, thank you. Came back. Yeah, they're saying not to take on too much of other people's energy and stuff right now. I think that's one of the key elements of this, that there's a tendency for you guys to be healers and maybe a little bit of rescuers, and just it's just a reminder to take care of yourself also. And there's a reminder here to really stay nice and grounded, and again, staying in your root center, staying in your heart center also. I feel like somebody's moving right now. I mean, of course, the number says 33 right now. We were talking about 33, but generally the between live and people that watch this video, generally there's 200 to 300 people that watch this. So yeah, I'm sure out of those numbers, somebody's going to be moving. So if this is you, your plan, I feel like they're saying, or maybe because it's already the second, maybe that ship has sailed. But I think that there's more of a message of just kind of letting things go more than anything, and and really trying to come into like a peaceful energy. It just feels to me like today and tomorrow you may get a chance just to step back and go more within. But come the 4th, 5th, and 6th of the month, the energy is going to be really high. There's a full moon. It's 16 degrees Libra coming up. There's 4/4. All the repeating dates are portals. That's also an important day in particularly American history, because Martin Luther King was assassinated on April the 4th, as they talk or they sing about in U2's song Pride in the Name of Love. 8 shots, early morning April 4th shot rings out in the Memphis sky. So that was about Martin Luther King's assassination in that song. So those of you that like music, U2, the name of the song is Pride. That's one of their most famous songs also. And let me see what else. Somebody's going around the water or going to the shore. Go have a good time, I want to say. But again, a lot of this, to me, feels like healing. It feels like this is a good time for this group and this community, especially on an emotional level or on the heart. As I'm talking about that, I feel like they're saying if something's happened, if somebody's either pulled away or giving you a hard time or whatever, but it's not your fault, and not to really just try to figure out what you did wrong or go into a whole like guilt and shame mentality, but rather be empowered and open the heart and just be you. Just be in your power, be in your root, be in your frame, and ask spirit, work with spirit, what what's behind this situation, what can I do to improve it? And then if God forbid, if you said something wrong or did something wrong, then just apologize. But don't start to feel guilty or shameful, or that you're a terrible person, or this, that, or the other thing, or that the other person doesn't love you or doesn't care. That's the thing. Not to feel guilty or shameful. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we get triggered by our emotions. We get caught up in the heat of the moment. We do things we'll regret later. We'll say things we regret later. So try to pull out of that regret, go back into your heart, into your solar plexus, because that's your empowerment center. And, just, own up to whatever it is, and to be open with communication. Doesn't, to me, this Two of Swords is almost like retreating. It's like condensing my energy when I look in this card, where we really need to expand our energy, not contract. and that can happen for a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of fear-based programming out there. There's a lot of things going on in the world. There's a lot of things going on out there. A lot of us are empathic and feel the energies of the earth and feel the energies of other people, and don't even want to go out because there's so much negativity and hate out there. But remember, stay in your heart, stay compassionate. They're programmed. It's not them that hates or that's negative or whatever. It's the way that they're programmed. We all have difficult things in our lives, and I'm human. I'll go out, I'll catch a bad look or a bad vibe, and my first egoic or personal mind response is like, how dare you give me such negative energy? What's wrong with you? Blah blah blah, whatever. But then if I can get present and I can get into my heart, I can be back in that perspective. Like, I don't know what this person's been through in their life. I just need to let it go with compassion and love, and not to take it personally. I want to say, what is it? One of the four agreements in that book by Don Miguel Ruiz. Don't take things personally. When people fire negativity out of you, it's their issues. It's not your issues. So, I've been putting that into practice. The more followers I get on YouTube, the more people that know me, the more I'm open to negative energies and negative comments. And I just have to remember, it's not me, it's where they're at. They're not ready. Don't take it personally, right? So that's your message. If you want to leave a comment on the video or an affirmation, you can say, I'm not going to take this personally, or it's not my issue. And I vibrate at the heart. I vibrate with love. I vibrate with compassion, and things like that. Again, this Queen of Pentacles, I feel like a lot of this energy is holding on. As I'm looking at this spread, kind of like this figure in the Two of Swords is kind of holding, the arms close to the heart. This one's upside down, holding that pentacle. Pentacles is security, holding that security, but she's upside down. What you perceive as security is not secure. There's nothing secure in this world. And to take this a step further, you cannot find security in a world or a reality that is inherently unstable. So remember that there's nothing that's stable in this physical world. Tomorrow, everything may change. Tell those that you love them today. Don't wait till tomorrow, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. There's nothing that's stable in this physical world. Remember that. However, Spirit, God, Source is the one and only thing that's going to last forever. So that is where your stability lies. Connect with Source, connect with Spirit. And that's how you begin to create more stability in your physical lives. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, but that's the message. If you want to write that down also. And then again, this card, the Ten of Swords, he's like carrying these burdens. He's holding under these burdens. Obviously too heavy for him. So decide what you don't need anymore. What weight you don't need anymore, and let it go. That this is the week to let it go, because even though we're coming up to the full moon and the energy's ramping up, for this full moon energy, it's already here. Basically, there's also this feeling of almost like a waning moon feeling, almost like needing to just kind of decide what we don't need in our lives anymore, who we don't need, what we don't need, or whatever. But somebody's changing jobs also, but having issues with their old job, constantly either calling them or wanting them to fix something or something like that. Let it go. If that's you, let that go also. All right. So I think that's a big part of the message here. Yeah. So let me pull a Native American tarot card also. So I love Native American energy and wisdom. Besides martial arts, that was really the first link that I had to spirituality. At age 19, when I had an awakening, which is 1978. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, time does fly. All right, sorry, I'm licking my fingers. I know that's gross. um, all right, here we go. Warrior Vessels. We've gotten this card more than once, and that gives me a great chance to talk about warriorship. Hi, Tulsi. Oh my God, there's a lots of comments coming out here. Okay. Um, okay. So, anyhow, warrior vessels here. So, let me see. Yeah, we've gotten this card before. It's interesting. I noticed different things. This time I'm noticing this bird. Birds are messages from spirit. So, you guys that are, having issues, whether that's Tulsi or Pam or whatever, look to spirit. The answers are there. The problem is that we're so caught up in our programming and conditioning. It's very hard to move out of that. And then, of course, we have challenges with the peoples in our lives, with the society, with everything. Nobody said this was going to be easy. This life was, nobody said it was going to be easy, but we are alive in perhaps the greatest time in human history. And really, the more we can be in our heart, the more we can connect with spirit, the more we're going to start to be able to unravel some of the negativity that we've gotten ourselves caught up in, no fault of our own, mind you. And the more that we're going to be able to undo that, and the more empowered we feel, the more empowered that we feel, the better our health is going to be, the better our attitude and outlook, and the more we're going to be able to, not only help others, but affect changes in our own lives and in our own perspective. So a lot of times it's all about how we see things, and having that broader perspective and understanding there's actually a greater purpose to our individual suffering. It really is one of the key elements to help us move through those super difficult times that a lot of us are facing in life. And the warrior vessels kind of says that. It's kind of like how am I going to get past this precipice and get to where I want to go? There's I think that's a river. River can represent flow, or represent energy, or represent prana. It can also represent emotions. And the warrior, that's key, because warriorship is really about taking responsibility, being impeccable of nature. Of course, warrior comes from war, but warriorship is about peace, and understanding that sometimes when we're in a world where there's both negative and dark and light forces that are interacting, sometimes we do have to be capable of battle and war, but we also have to take the battle internally and understand that I don't even like to use the word battle. Maybe dance is a better word, but there's this cosmic dance between like ego versus spirit, or good versus evil, or whatever you want to call it. And really, the more you can be in your heart, and the more you can be in your power, the more you're aligning with the good, or the positive, or the higher vibrations and frequencies. So warriors will always take responsibility for everything in their world, right or wrong. It's kind of like when I got fired from a job that I love, and falsely accused of stealing. And one day I was like the owner's pet. I was the manager of this shop, and the next day, I was scum. I stole. I got fired. I never stole anything. But the thing is, I could be in a really bitter, negative mindset about that. It's like, how dare she? That bitch, blah blah blah, or whatever. Or I could look within. It's like, what in my frequency? What in my vibration? What in my nature caused this person to do this to me? That's the difference between victim mentality and warrior mentality. And after I got over, because it was very upsetting. This is a long time ago. After I got over that, I worked with spirit, and I realized, that I had a karmic history of being falsely accused of things, and that's something that had happened a lot in my life. It wasn't the first time I was falsely accused of stealing, falsely accused of this, that, or the other thing. And then I uncovered a whole karmic pattern, a whole energetic pattern. So when we experience intense things in other lifetimes, it becomes part of our soul record. So then when we incarnate into a new body, that soul frequency or resonance overlays with the new physical body, and we carry these patterns from other lifetimes into this lifetime. So anyway, I think you get the idea. I think you get the difference between that. So be the warrior. That's what's called for now. You be the warrior, take responsibility. That's how you start to find solutions. That's how you start to take affirmative action. It's never going to happen if it's always the other person's fault, or always the cabal's fault, or the reptilian, ET's fault, or the whatever they're called, the little grays or whatever. They're just the players in this cosmic dance of life that we're in. This classroom that we're in. They're the players. Good versus evil is part of our learning. It's part of our lessons. Once we graduate into the next grade, then we understand that good and evil are really two sides of the same thing. They're two sides of reality, of energy, of light, of wholeness, of oneness, of God and spirit. Remember in our Bible, Lucifer took a third of his angels and wreaked havoc around the earth, but Lucifer is still an angel. And then when it's all said and done and the cycle's complete, Lucifer returns back to God. So that's really, that's really what it's about. So anyway, I have a few other things. I have divine abundance cards. We could all use some divine abundance, right? So anyhow, thank you guys. Thank you everybody. All right, so here's a message they want to give us. Here we go. Allowing. Yes, when we open our heart, when we stop being victims, and when we become warriors, and then we become more in our space of allowing. If we have this mindset that sooner or later we're going to get screwed by somebody, something, or some unknown force, how are we going to allow anything into our lives? If we have the subconscious mindset, it's all going to turn to crap anyway, right? So so the message here is radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so what's needed can come next. And sometimes, the message is really in the imagery and what you're drawn to in this particular image. So here we go. Here we have it. So that's that message from that. Well, I see. I lost a bunch of people. I guess some people that were watching didn't like the idea of taking responsibility or spiritual warriorship or whatever. I feel like Spirit's laughing at me, saying, "Oh no, they just had to eat breakfast. You're good." Which reminds me, I have not eaten breakfast yet this morning, and I'm still in a good mood. So, what's your excuse? Just kidding. So I have the medicine cards with me today. So I'm using this deck for our spirit animal guide messages. And let's see what we pulled. Of course, there's the native. This is a Native American, the medicine card. So we're only pulling from the pool of North American animals with this deck. But that said, what do we get? The squirrel, 26. Well, we're kind of in the opposite season of the squirrel. I always think about squirrels in the autumn, like gathering the nuts. So preparation, perhaps Spirit is saying, even though a lot of the predictions, mine included, to be honest and fair, but a lot of the prediction about like food shortages and all that stuff, I mean, it happened, but it's fallen short so far. I think this is Spirit's way of saying, don't let our guards down. Continue to be prepared. It's a very uncertain and volatile world, and we do know that there are forces or energies out there that are really trying to attack, the collective. I explained a little bit about that on the last live stream I did about the April psychic forecast. So I'll leave a link for that. But But the thing is, squirrels aren't planned, right? They plan for the winter. So, I think they're saying, plan for, craziness out there, be able to survive on your own or pull back from society if you have to. Hopefully nobody will have to, but if you do, that's also warriorship, leaving as little as possible up to fate. That's part of spiritual warriorship also. Whatever, I've had a choice to just leave something up to fate, as trusting as I am in spirit or God, I'm still, God helps those that helps themselves. I'm going to leave as little as possible up to fate. And if I have plenty of food or supplies, if supply lines get temporarily cut off, it's not like I have to beg or borrow to get a meal. I'll already have that. So so there we go for that. And what else does it say about squirrel in my book? Key 26. 28. I'm close. 27. 26. Gathering. That's the key word. Squirrel teaches you to plan ahead for the winter when the trees are bare and the nuts have long since disappeared. Squirrel medicine can come in many forms, and this furry creature is very diverse in nature. The erratic behavior of squirrel has bested many a forlorn hunter, and it thus stands to reason that there are benefits to being able to circle a branch at lightning speed. This erratic behavior of squirrel can also get nerve-wracking if you are dealing with persons who have squirrel medicine. Trying to calm them down enough to accomplish something may drive you nuts. And I like that they use nuts. Anyway, I think we get the idea. So, I have sacred geometry cards I like to use also on Sunday mornings here on Tarot Time. I'm saying I was in somebody's dream. And here I am. Last I check, you're alive. All right. Or maybe you were doing the channeling at MDR. Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe it was you. And I'm just a symbol of channeling, being that you know me as a medium. That could make sense to me. All right, so here we go. Merkaba. We talk a lot about the Merkaba, the star tetrahedron, the ascension light vehicle. So that's our sacred geometry, and that's powerful sacred geometry also. Very much taps into that 369 Tesla code. Or that's kind of some of one of the I may do a video on this pretty soon also. That's one of the two very strong numerical facets of sacred geometry, the binary code being the other, that everything is either a 1 or 0. One is more active or more divine masculine, 0 is more divine feminine. So 0 is like the void. What they say about key 0 with the Fool: no thing, nothing. It's also use your imagination a little bit, but it's also shaped somewhat like a yoni, where a 1 is shaped somewhat like a phallus. So it's kind of like all numbers or numerology stem from this interplay of 1s and 0s, and this physical universe is all an interplay of opposites. And we transcend the physical universe when we, not just intellectually but experientially, discover that all opposites are really one and the same. They all came from a divine source, and that divine source is 0. So the interesting thing is that in human evolution, it's really thought that female was the first gender, which would make a lot of sense to me also, although if scientifically, I mean, it kind of takes 2, right, to propagate a species, but in any event or any regards, you can take that, however you want to take that. But in any event, the message here for the Merkaba is the frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse the other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. So I'll hold this for a moment or two. You can connect with the frequency by gazing on the image and meditating on the image for a while. And we can use the image of the Merkaba, the energy of a Merkaba, to transcend the physical. And it's called the ascension like vehicle sometimes, because we can go to different realities or different star systems using this as a portal of spiritual transportation, as it were. Question, do I see that before I drift in between? Cool. That was the breath. Cool. All right, and I also have Doreen Virtue's Angel Therapy card, so I switched to a different angel deck also for this morning to celebrate a new month and a new reality, a new dawn. And this is the card that we got. So as I say, cancel, clear, delete. So again, clearing. Don't hold on to other people's stuff. Don't even hold on to the past. Be in the present moment. By being present, you can assimilate those lessons of the past anyway, without reliving the past. Because again, what happens when we think about the past? We do that subconsciously because we're programmed to. That's part of our survival instinct. Is that we start to feel the emotions out of that past, and the emotions trigger hormones in the body, change in our energy field. So in essence, we become the past when we start to get triggered by those emotions. But then whatever we have in the present, that's where we're creating our future reality also. So if you can cancel, clear, delete, then you cancel the subconscious or the natural trend to be constantly creating our future out of our past by being present in the moment. So anyway, that's how that works. And what it says is use only positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. So that's the message there for that. And that's what I got for you guys. So again, I'm going to just go over the list here. April forecast is up on the Medium channel, and I'll leave a link for that. It's Earth Month on Spirit Mind Family. That's our inner core group where we dive deeper. We have a theme for the month, and I have videos and meditation that I don't share anywhere else. That's only for that family. I hate to be separatist in nature, but we created an inner core community. Because here on YouTube, it's very public, and we have a great community here, but this is a way of diving deeper. Also, we do 2 additional channeling sessions and activation with the master teacher. So those of you that really want to dive deeper, I highly recommend that. It's our Patreon group, and I'll leave a link to that also. Every morning at 8, we release 1-minute short videos to give you a quick daily forecast. If you'd like to get into those as well. And full moon channeling is going to be Wednesday night here on the Medium channel with the master teachers and Archangel Raphael. And if you're loving this video, give it a thumbs up, and let's help YouTube to share this. And thank you, everybody, for being here. And we'll see you next time. Love you.